Twinkie, 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 Twinkie. I ain't seeing no Twinkies in here, but I will be seeing Twinkies in this film. Hello everyone, welcome back to Home Media Reviews. This week we're talking about Zombieland. Let's not waste any more time. Tallahassee, please stay back there. There are Twinkies back there for you. Let's jump right in to the history section of Zombieland. So Zombieland, unlike American Made last week, has more than 3 dates here in the history section, so this one will be a bit longer than last week. Zombieland came out theatrically on October 2nd, 2009. Perfect timing for this film to come out. October is, of course, the month of Halloween. This came out a few weeks before Halloween, and this was presumably still in theaters when Halloween was going on, so perfect timing for this film to come out. And it was the highest grossing zombie film for like years. I think until World War Z came out. I think that overpassed this, but they were the #1 zombie film for about 3 to 4 years. That was insane. Now, I did not see this in theaters. I was 10 years old when this came out. There was no way my parents were going to let me watch a movie about killing zombies and Woody Harrelson saying "fuck" every 5 seconds. So, nah, that did not happen. I did see this film my junior year of high school, though. One of my friends, Haley, she's been in a few vlogs. You guys should remember her. She loves this movie, and when she found out I had never seen it, the next day she brought in her personal DVD copy of Zombieland and said, "Here, watch it tonight, bring it back to me when you've seen it." And I watched it, and I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with how good it was. But I didn't go racing out to pick up a copy for myself. It was a one-watch for me. I enjoyed it the first time. Didn't pick up a copy for myself until the 4K came out. The Blu-ray/DVD release of Zombieland came out on February 2nd, 2010. And there were some Best Buy exclusives of both the Blu-ray and the DVD, and they were both appropriately titled the Nut Up or Shut Up edition. I don't know what's exclusive about these. It just said they were exclusive to Best Buy. Maybe it was just that banner. I have no idea. Zombieland was then included in a Laugh Out Loud triple feature DVD set on June 16th, 2015. This set included Zombieland, Not Another Teen Movie, and 30 Minutes or Less. I have not seen either one of those other 2 films. There was a Best Buy exclusive steelbook released on November 1st, 2015. There was also a metal pack released with the same artwork. As we've talked about extensively on this show, metal packs and steelbooks, different things entirely. And 4 years later, on October 1st, 2019, Zombieland made its way onto the 4K format. I have no doubt that was to create hype for Zombieland Double Tap's release, which was, I think, a few weeks after that. And just like with every other big-budget Hollywood film that comes out on 4K, there was a Best Buy exclusive steelbook, which looks really good. And to a surprise to no one, I picked up the Best Buy exclusive steelbook day of release. It was funny, I went there to specifically pick up the Zombieland 4K, because I think Spider-Man Far From Home also came out on 4K that day, and I had pre-ordered a steelbook for that just to make sure I got it. So I was going there to pick it up. I was looking for Zombieland, didn't see any 4Ks out on the shelf. I look behind a couple of movies. I see one lone Zombieland 4K steelbook just hiding behind there. Someone might have hid it to come back and buy it later, but you know what, dude? You should have hid it somewhere else, because I found it and bought it. It took a couple weeks for the Zombieland 4Ks to finally show up at a lot of my retailers, actually. It was probably the 3rd or 4th week in October when they finally started showing up, and at least my stores. I don't know if everybody else was the same way, but mine here in Kentucky, it took about the 3rd or 4th week of October for the Zombieland 4Ks to start showing up in stores. So that's your history. Let's move on to the close-up. Alright everyone, here's your close-up look at Zombieland. We only have one copy to look at here today because this is the first copy of Zombieland I have ever owned. I'll tell that story later on in this review, but this is the most recent release of Zombieland. This is the 4K Steelbook that came out last year at the tail end of 2019. On the front here, we've got a really cool globe with Zombieland written on the top. The world has just been engulfed in anarchy and whatnot. It's a really nice poster. The side, Zombieland, Columbia TriStar Pictures down there at the bottom. And the back features Woody Harrelson, or Tallahassee, with a zombie there, which makes sense. I guess Woody Harrelson was the biggest star that was in this film, although Jesse Eisenberg was pretty well known at the time this came out. On the inside, there's no artwork or anything. It's just orange, which kind of stinks. I like when steelbooks have artwork in them. But here are your discs, and your discs don't really have a lot of character to them either. They're just standard Columbia, Sony Pictures discs. You've got your 4K there, and behind it is your Blu-ray. And as you can see, the literal only change between the two is the fact that that says 4K and it's black, and the Blu-ray says Blu-ray on it and it's blue. Not really a lot of effort put into those discs. So a very short close-up this time around, but I just don't own any other copies of Zombieland. So that's the end of the close-up. Let's move on to the menu tour. It's time to nut up or shut up, because here you are for your menu tour of Zombieland. We're starting with the regular Blu-ray. Got this cool menu set up here with the carnival from the climax of the film. That's pretty awesome. Shooting little zombies there. We got play movie, languages, scene selection, special features, and an extra thing for Blu-ray Disc Live. Let's take a look at the languages. For audio, you've got English 5.1, English Descriptive, and French 5.1. No Spanish. No love for the Spanish, I guess. And for subtitles, you got English for the hearing, no, not for the hearing impaired, for the descriptive, for if you're blind, and French. Scene selections, we've got this bar down here at the bottom telling us where we are in the film, and 16 scenes, which makes sense. This is only an hour and a half, so yeah, 16 scenes, that's pretty good. You got a little screenshot there telling you, hey, Bill Murray's house. Enjoy the little things. That's funny. If you've never seen Zombieland, you don't get any of this. Which, why are you watching this video if you've never seen Zombieland? What is wrong with you? I'm going to spoil the hell out of it at the end of this video. Special features include Beyond the Graveyard picture-in-picture track, commentary with actors Woody Harrelson and Jesse Eisenberg, and director Ruben Fleischer, writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, writers of Deadpool. By the way, the Deadpool writers wrote this film. In Search of Zombieland, Zombieland is Your Land, deleted scenes, visual effects progression scenes, and theatrical promo trailers, and then just previews for other stuff. Okay, here we are for the 4K, and it doesn't come off this way on the camera, but for some odd reason, the menu of this is really dark, like absurdly dark. It doesn't look that way on the camera, but looking at it in person, it looks really off. But anyway, here's what the menu looks like. You've got play in this big setting here, and you saw me earlier go over to languages. You've got, for audio, we've got a Dolby Atmos mix, English 5.1, English audio descriptive. We've got Catalan Spanish, Czech 5.1, French 5.1, some more audio options. We got French, that's Quebec French, German, Hindi, Hungarian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Castilian, and Latin American Spanish. We've got Thai, Turkish, and Ukrainian. That is a lot of language options. And for subtitles, I expect we'll have just as many, if not more. We've got English, Chinese Simplified, Chinese Traditional, Czech, Danish, Dutch, Finnish, French, German, Greek, Hindi, Hungarian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Slovak, Slovene, two different things there, Spanish, Castilian, Spanish, Latin American, Swedish, Thai, and Ukrainian. And if you noticed, a lot of those we had seen on previous releases for this season. I just didn't know what the hell they were saying, but here I finally figured out what that is. That's Thai. I'm not gonna remember that for later, but that's Thai. Thanks, Zombieland, for telling me that. Your special features are here. We've got another, like, menu here. Hey, this forms like one continuous image. I just realized that. Let's enter the special features menu, shall we? Raised from the Dead, Zombieland, a decade later. Shootin' Zombies with Ruben Fleischer, the director of the film. Behind the scenes with the cast and crew of Zombieland. Theatrical trailer. And that's it for your bonus features. I think the Blu-ray had a little bit more variety on that, actually. But it's cool that they actually tell you how long the featurettes are. I like that. So if we go back and go to scenes with Jesse Eisenberg, enter if you dare. I think we have the same number of scenes as on the Blu-ray, but again, they don't have any titles or anything. They're just numbers. Yeah, same number, 16. And if we go back down here, it takes us back to the top of this poster that this thing creates. So that concludes your menu for the 4K. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions as always. Alright, we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? Well, the 4K is still on shelves, so anywhere, really. Best Buy, though, is your best bet. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Oh, this one is difficult because there are still 4Ks on the shelves at certain retailers, but the last reissue was in 2019. I have to say no. I really can't say yes and feel good about it. Sorry. Number 3, should you pick this product up? This one I can answer yes to and feel great about because Zombieland is a hell of a good time. Zombieland is not A-plus cinema. This is not Casablanca or Citizen Kane. This is a fun romp that's 90 minutes long. It's lean, easy to get through, and you'll laugh. If not a lot, you'll laugh at least once. Everybody in this gives a pretty great performance. But the standout, and my favorite character, a lot of people's favorite character, I think, is Woody Harrelson as Tallahassee. It's just, Woody Harrelson embodies the character of Tallahassee. This is how I picture Harrelson actually lives his life as the character of Tallahassee, because he's perfect in this role. One of his greatest lines, I think, in this entire movie comes right at the end climax after Jesse Eisenberg and Emma Stone kiss, they hook up. Tallahassee just standing there going, not bad for a scrawny little spit That line had me dying the first time I saw that. And of course, the juxtaposition of Tallahassee being this big, tough guy who loves guns and killing zombies, but is also obsessed with Twinkies and is trying to find Twinkies. I love that joke, by the way, just how he's continuously looking for Twinkies throughout this entire movie. Jesse Eisenberg gives a really good performance as well. This might have been the first time I saw him in anything. I can't remember if I saw Batman v Superman before this. And he gives a really good performance here as this little nerd who is kind of neurotic about everything, and that's how he's been able to survive this zombie apocalypse, because he has all these rules that he adheres to. Side note, I love how whenever a rule is executed, it shows up on screen in 3D letters. Great. I love the style this movie was shot in and the humor that is on screen with the rules popping up every time he does a double tap. Rule 2, double tap. I mean, it's great. I love it. Emma Stone, really good as well. I had already seen her in the Amazing Spider-Man films. I liked her in those, and I liked her here. She's functional. Abigail Breslin kind of gets the shaft here as Little Rock. She just, I don't know. It's not that I don't like her. I like everyone in this film. She just didn't have much to do. And I am impressed with how much they were able to squeeze into this movie. They were able to mix comedy, some dramatic elements, and some pretty tense action sequences into one 90-minute story and make it all feel fulfilling. By the end of this movie, you believe that these 4 characters are now a family because of how these actors portray them. And this isn't just all comedy. There is some dramatic moments here, and they work pretty well. Especially the reveal about Woody Harrelson and his dog. You know, when you find out who and what his dog actually was, when he talks about how he lost his Buck. It was really sad finding out who Buck actually is. That got me, man. That got me watching it this time. My really only complaint with this film is how quick it is and how it really doesn't have much of a climax. It just kind of ends. Like, the climax at Pacific Playland lasts about 15 minutes or so, and then credits are rolling. I feel like if they just added on a little bit of an extra, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes onto the end of this, and actually had a legit climax with real tension and stuff, maybe it could have been a bit more fulfilling, but it's not a huge problem for me. But it is a problem that I think about sometimes. I'm like, this movie doesn't really have an ending. It just kind of stops, but at the same time, it makes you want more of this universe. And I'm glad that we got more with the sequel. And the over-the-top violence is really what I enjoy most about this film. I'm surprised at how good they made a lot of this CGI look. This film did not have a very big budget. It's really a small film compared to a lot of the bigger budget Marvel stuff that comes out nowadays. This film was relatively small in terms of the money they had to play with here. The zombie makeup looks great. The effects look great. The blood and everything looks so good. There are a few moments where the CGI gets a little bit wonky, few moments in Pacific Playland, but other than that, man, the zombie makeup and everything looks so good here. I love the practicality of this makeup and how it looks. That's one of the good things I can say about the Walking Dead TV show. I mean, the zombies look great in that. Everything else is garbage. This movie puts the Walking Dead to shame. There, I said it. So I think I can say I confidently love Zombieland. This is one of my favorite comedies. And it's such an easy movie to show really anyone, unless they're under the age of like 16. Maybe you shouldn't show this to, I don't know, a 5-year-old. Might scare them. But, you know, anyone who's in that tween age group to anyone over that, I think anyone can enjoy this film on just a base level of, this is fun, I enjoy it, I like the world that these characters live in. So yeah, I give a high recommend to Zombieland. It's not your typical zombie film, but that just makes it different, and in my opinion, it makes it pretty good, because it's not the average, you know, run away from zombies. I like how the zombies actually run fast in this. They're not lumbering and brains and everything. No, they actually can run. I like that. It makes them more of a threat. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? You could find it in stores, maybe. If you do, then buy it there, but honestly, you're probably going to get a better deal if you buy it from one of the store's websites or eBay or something like that. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, the original Blu-ray, honestly, I see that pop up at a lot of used DVD and Blu-ray places. So the original Blu-ray, $5. That's as common as a coaster. Same with the Steelbook, honestly. The Blu-ray Steelbook and the metal pack, I see that show up at a lot of half-price books and FYEs around here, so that's probably worth about $5 to $10 for that. The 4K is still relatively recent, so I'd say that's worth about $20 is what they're charging for that. So yeah, $20 for that. It's worth it too. The 4K on this looks pretty daggone good. Well, it's a little bit too dark in a few places. I'd brighten it up just a tad bit, but other than that, this 4K transfer looks pretty good. So that, ladies and gents, is your review for Zombieland. A very entertaining comedy that I enjoy watching every now and then. It's just so easy to get through. It's only 90 minutes. And I completely forgot to mention the Bill Murray cameo. Hilarious. And actually smart. I love his joke about Eddie Van Halen still playing music as a zombie. Oh yeah, I just saw Eddie Van Halen. Oh, how's he doing? Well, he's a zombie. Do you have any regrets? Oh, Garfield, maybe. I regret watching that too, Bill Murray. His cameo was top-notch here. And little known fact, it wasn't supposed to be Bill Murray, actually. It was supposed to be a few other celebrities, but the director couldn't find anyone, so he was like, yo, Harrelson, I need a celebrity here. Who you friendly with? And Harrelson was like, well, I know Dustin Hoffman, and I know Bill Murray. Hoffman was busy, so they got Murray. So remember last season when I covered the Star Wars trilogy, and I covered 3 films in that, you know? I decided why not kill myself just a little bit earlier and continue that tradition with another multi-film episode. Next week, we're going to take a look at a quadrilogy of films, which involves raiding for lost arks, escaping temples of doom, trying to stop a last crusade, and looking for a crystal skull. We're talking Indiana Jones next week. Da 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 da. You like my singing? It's good, right? I hope But you are excited for that, and you will join me for that. So another tonal shift there. Rated R comedy could be rated R today. Serialized 1940s serial throwback films. So remember these 3 rules. Rule 1, always make sure the microphone is recording. Rule 2, always have your history pulled up on your laptop so you don't have a long space in the middle of the recording. And rule number 3, never leave a Twinkie in the middle of the road. We hope that you have enjoyed your stay in Zombieland. Good night, everybody. Well, it's a little bit too dark in a few places. I'd brighten it up just a tad bit. But other than... Can I not f***ing talk? But other than...